What's up guys, my name is Ace, and unless you guys are living under a rock, I'm sure you guys are well aware that Grand Theft Auto 6 is scheduled to arrive later this year, likely right around the launch window of when we're expecting our next Call of Duty game, heavily rumored to be Modern Warfare 4 at this point. And because of that, I've seen plenty of discourse in the community talking about how big of an impact Grand Theft Auto 6 may or may not have on Modern Warfare 4. And so in today's video, I wanted to share my 2 cents on this topic. Do I think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a real threat to Modern Warfare 4 and their sales? Well, obviously, Grand Theft Auto is always a very big deal when it releases. It's not an annual franchise. In fact, it's been 13 years since Grand Theft Auto 5 was released. And therefore, when it is a release year for a Grand Theft Auto game, it is a big deal industry-wide. I have no doubt in my mind it will be the best-selling game of the year, likely by a very large margin, assuming it doesn't get delayed again and it actually launches this year. And so with that in mind, launching any game alongside that is probably not going to be giving your game the best chance at success. So to be clear early on, I definitely think Grand Theft Auto 6 will have some impact on the sales of Modern Warfare 4, also likely player retention over time. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to be as big of a threat as some people have been making it out to be. I've seen people in the community confidently state that Modern Warfare 4 is going to be a total flop, and the primary reason for that is Grand Theft Auto 6. And I've even seen people throw around numbers like they're going to have 80% less sales this year compared to what they would normally expect just because of Grand Theft Auto 6 releasing at the same time. And I don't think that will be even remotely close to accurate for a few reasons. The first big reason is release timing, or at least expected release timing. As of right now, Grand Theft Auto 6 is scheduled to release on November 19th, although there are many people that are skeptical that they'll be able to stick to that date, and they're expecting another delay, but we'll just assume they are going to be hitting that release date this year. When it comes to Modern Warfare 4, well, we have no official information about the game at all. Like I said, we don't even know if it's called Modern Warfare 4. We do know Infinity Ward's past 2 titles have released in the final week of October. So Modern Warfare 2019 released October 25th that year, and for Modern Warfare 2, that released on October 28th. And each Call of Duty studio tends to have their own release window that they stick to pretty religiously, at least in recent years. And so I suspect they'll likely be aiming for another late October release for Modern Warfare 4, or perhaps they might even try to go a little bit earlier just to create a bit more of a gap, a bit more of a buffer between them and Grand Theft Auto 6. So, gun to my head, I would guess October 30th is likely going to be our release date for Modern Warfare 4. But as I said, I also wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to push that just a little earlier and aim more so for October 23rd. Something that would be a big surprise for me, though, is if they end up releasing Modern Warfare 4 in November. Because that, I think, could be an issue. The closer you get to the release of Grand Theft Auto 6, the bigger the impact that's likely to have on the sales of your game. But if they do manage to keep Modern Warfare 4's release at least 3 to 4 weeks before Grand Theft Auto 6 releases, I think that's going to help a lot to mitigate the impacts that Grand Theft Auto 6 will have on their sales. Whereas I think it would be a very different story if they were launching like within the same week of Grand Theft Auto 6, or if Grand Theft Auto 6 were to release before Modern Warfare 4. That would also likely have a very big negative impact on Call of Duty sales. As for the next reason that I feel this won't be as much of a threat as some people make it out to be, and this was kind of implied with what I was just talking about there, this is gamers generally buy multiple games a year, and I bet there's tons of people out there that are fans of Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto that are simply going to be buying both of the games. And again, I think that will especially be the case if there's a reasonable gap between the two, because for many people, they definitely get their money's worth out of a COD game within the first month or so of its release, at least for those people that grind it quite hard. So for them, it'll be a no-brainer. They'll just buy Call of Duty, play it, grind it super hard, and then when Grand Theft Auto comes out, they'll be buying that and playing that super hard. Now, of course, in saying that, not everyone is in the position to be able to do that, and they will have to choose between one or the other. And with that choice, assuming you're a fan of both COD and Grand Theft Auto, and there is a bit of a choice to make there, the decision does seem pretty easy on that one. You're likely going to go with the game that's been in development for a decade, has the highest development budget of any game in history, and will likely be supported for at least another decade, versus the annual release franchise, where the next game in the franchise will likely be released within a year. And that's precisely why I say Grand Theft Auto 6 will likely have at least some impact on the sales of the next Call of Duty game. I just don't think it's going to be quite as disastrous as a lot of people make it out to be. Because if I had to guess, the majority of gamers likely aren't in that position where they can only get one or the other. And that leads into the third point here, and that's simply Grand Theft Auto doesn't scratch the same itch as Call of Duty. There may be a ton of overlap in the player bases of both franchises, but at the end of the day, they're inherently very different games that are in a completely different genre of gaming. Like, GTA is all about massive open world freedom and a big narrative and the ability to just explore and do your own thing and get creative with your gameplay, and that's not to mention the driving and flying mechanics as well. Whereas Call of Duty is a pure FPS game, where at least for most people, the majority of your playtime is in a competitive environment playing directly against other players. And while Grand Theft Auto of course has guns and gunplay mechanics, that has never come even remotely close to the smoothness of the gunplay in Call of Duty. I hope they do make improvements for Grand Theft Auto 6. That's always been one of my bigger gripes with Grand Theft Auto games, is the aiming and shooting mechanics, especially on controller, are not the greatest out there. But even if they make improvements there, I highly doubt they'll be coming anywhere close to that feel of Call of Duty. And so as I said, it just doesn't scratch that same itch. And for those people that are big fans of Call of Duty, they may still really enjoy Grand Theft Auto 6 and have a blast with it and put a lot of playtime into it, but at the end of the day, it's just not going to scratch that same itch that Call of Duty does for people. And honestly, if we're talking about this direct competition, if anything, I think last year with Battlefield 6, that was a much bigger threat to Call of Duty because it was more of a potential replacement for Call of Duty because it's similar enough, it's in the same genre. It had the potential to actually scratch that itch that Call of Duty used to scratch for people. Whereas in this case with Grand Theft Auto, I just don't think it's really the same thing. And so that's another reason I don't think this is as big of a threat as some people are making it out to be. And that's not even mentioning the addiction that many people have to Call of Duty every single year. It's actually become a core part of many people's annual routine, is to buy a Call of Duty game and like grind to the mastery camo or just play it at least for a certain period of time. And for those types of people, I don't think Grand Theft Auto is going to get in the way of that very much, if at all. And so I do think when it comes to this topic of Grand Theft Auto 6 being the direct reason for a Modern Warfare 4 flop, I don't think that's going to happen. If Modern Warfare 4 flops, I think it's going to be due to other factors like a terrible marketing campaign, which I don't think is going to happen. Call of Duty's marketing is usually on point. Or perhaps just the game itself isn't going to be living up to expectations. I know general sentiment, at least within the vocal community toward Call of Duty, has been down in recent years, and it does seem like it's kind of at an all-time low at the moment. So I'm curious to see what the reaction and the sentiment will be once we start getting the reveals for Modern Warfare 4, if some of that will turn around a little bit and some excitement and hype will build for it, or if it's largely just going to feel like it's the same Call of Duty we've been dealing with for the past several years, and therefore, in that case, I could maybe see Modern Warfare 4 not doing well. I just think when it comes to this specific topic, do I think Grand Theft Auto 6 by itself is enough to cause a flop? In my opinion, no, I don't think that's going to be happening. At the end of the day, though, these are just my thoughts. My guess is as good as yours. I'm personally really looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6, but obviously I'm going to be getting Call of Duty and playing that as well. And I hope they do a good job with it this year, but time will tell on that. And this is where I am curious to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Do you think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to have a major negative impact on Call of Duty this year? Or not so much? Also, do you plan on buying one or the other or both of these games? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.